Hello, welcome back to Steve's Retirement Corner. Playing defense in retirement. Now, this is just my thoughts on the matter. It's not meant to be any kind of advice or tell anybody what they should do or anything. But playing defense in retirement, I think it's an important thing. I really do. And it's important, but it's something I didn't do last year, and I should have. It's all you hear on here about getting a little bit more conservative with your daggone money the closer you get to retirement. Because you're no longer in the accumulation stage, you're in the decumulation stage, and your biggest fear is to lose money. You don't want to lose money unnecessarily like that. And I knew better. I just didn't do it. At the time, I was still working. I know I was planning on leaving at the end of the year, but I just didn't do it. And in the long run, it probably helped me a little bit. Because from my high point down in my 401 to the day I retired, I was only down like a little over 2%, 2.3, I believe it was. But that come from me running such a high cash in there. I had 30% was in cash. And that helped prevent me from taking the ups and downs of the markets as bad as I could have. And I was still contributing. So, that made up for, some losses. That's what it did. And I never was concerned about shifting and being more conservative because, I left at 57. I got 10 years before I plan on drawing Social Security. I figured naturally over time, pulling out these next 10 years, it would shift on its own and drop. So I really hadn't planned on it. But I got to thinking it was this morning when I was taking my walk. I got 5 years cash in my 401 in the stable value funds, what it is. And then I ain't quite got 3 this year. I had 2.5. I don't think I got quite 3 in the bank. So, 2 and 5 is 7 years. I'm only 3 years short. I got to thinking, if I move 3 years in my 401 back over to cash, that'll give me my 10 years until 67. That I ain't got to worry about whatever the market does the next decade. I got it covered till I hit Social Security age. And that's the reason I done it. I don't know what it is. Overall, it's probably 60-40 now between the 401 bank money and IRA and brokerage account. It's probably a 60-40 now. And give or take a little bit. And it's comforting to know is all it is. That's the reason I did it. It wasn't because I wanted to get more conservative with my percentages or anything like that. It was just, it's comforting to know that next decade I'm gold. How's that? But I had originally planned on going at 60. Taking the year 58 and getting more conservative with my percentage wise, maybe run a 60-40 then. And then at 59, quit contributing to my 401 and build up cash. And at 60, I would have left with 5 years cash in the bank. So I wouldn't have had to even pull out my 401. But this way I had 5 years to get me to 62. If I need to pull, I can pull. But I still got that cash in the bank. So once I get through these first 3 years at 60, then I can roll that money out to 401 into an IRA, and then I can pull out however much I need or don't pull out at all. Right now I'm locked into the withdrawals. Once I get to 60, I'll be golden. I'll have an actual bucket strategy then instead of sort of a make do bucket until I get there. But retiring and working, I mean, it's two different ball games as far as your money goes, and you gotta treat it like two different ball games. You don't be go chasing no daggone returns and stuff. You gotta secure that money. Now I don't. 10 years is a pile of cash to hold in an investment portfolio, and it, if it wasn't for the comfort that it brought me, I wouldn't do it. And there's not much need in it. I would have been fine the way I was. It's just I got to thinking, 3 years cash ain't that much if I just shift it over. I don't know. It's golden. It's almost like just having your house paid off. The the comfort it gives you knowing that the sucker's paid for. That's like my next 10 years. My first 10 years of retirement's paid for, and I ain't got to worry about it. Yeah, and hopefully that money I still got in stocks from my IRA and brokerage and the rest of my 401. I mean, hopefully in the next 10 years I might make a nickel or two. I don't know, but I got a decade before I should have to touch that money, if at all. So I got time for that to grow. That's the benefits of having daggone a bucket strategy to me, I think. But I don't know. But that'd be good. I'll be happy with that. Well, that's about it. Just something I had a thought about, so I acted on it, and I think it's going to help me in the end. And I think it helped me last year by not acting on it. Dumb luck's what you call it. Y'all be good. We'll talk to y'all later.